One of my girlfriends had said the other day, she goes, I love whenever you guys talk about something controversial on your podcast. She said, I love the drama. And I was like, good. I want you to listen to the next one.
And here we go.
You're right.
It's the Scott and Alley Not For Air podcast. The rules are gone. The shirt is untucked. Here's Scott and Alley.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
As we go into the Scott and Alley Not For Air podcast, I think I already know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask this question anyway. We talked about this on the show, how I tried to set up I tried to update my payment method on the KFC app. Do you remember we were talking about this?
Yes. And if you missed it, it's on demand.
Okay. I tried to do this on Instacart the other day. I've never used Instacart. I'm so sick of freaking Apple having to verify my payment. When's that going to happen? All I wanted to do was Instacart 3 things. First time ever using Instacart because you know what? Normally I can get my ass up and go to the store. I'm not that lazy yet. And I'm not so old that I can't get out of a rocking chair.
Well, then what were the 3 things? This is really going to tell a lot about you, I feel like.
It was...
God, did I say ice cream? Was ice cream?
I wonder if they're still on my phone. Hold on.
Because we had a listener who texted us this week who said that they Instacart ice cream more than anything. And I will never forget like the time that I just needed junk food. So I was Instacarting junk food, but then I put blueberries in just so it didn't seem like I was only eating junk food.
You're going to think this is weird. I was trying to get ready to make a summer salad. I needed pickles. I needed a celery root, and there was something else.
Pickles in a salad? Yeah.
It's actually a special potato salad. It's really good.
Okay.
I can't for the life of me remember what the third item was. Either way. Okay. So again, this comes back to the Apple thing with the Apple Pay. I've got 3 cards waiting to verify. When's that happening?
This is something that I've dealt with my old dog walker. And it's funny. I feel like you're going to have me or Gavin help you with this. Or
Gavin.
Even
I don't want Gavin to figure this out because then he'll be downloading every app for free on his iPad.
Yes.
So maybe you.
So you're going to get 2 deposits. I can't believe I'm explaining this.
No, please.
You're going to get 2 deposits into your account. And they're going to ask you how much are those deposits. It's going to be like a cent or 2 cents or something. And then you have to put it back in and that's how you verify.
Where and when?
For me, it happened like that day within minutes. So
No, nothing. Apparently, I'm not allowed to use it, which leads me into something else. And I think I know where the answer to this is. So, I've had some difficulties with apps. Actually, this time, it wasn't even me that had the difficulty with the app. It was actually my significant other who is an app queen. She has them all. Mm-hmm. Every single fast food place, she's got the app. Just in case of an emergency. I think that's smart. You never know when you're going to pass something.
Emergency if like she forgets her wallet so she can just pay through the app?
That's one way to do it. Or I get hangry and we're passing a Wendy's, she can handle it.
Yes.
Whatever. It's smart. It's ready to go. So we're trying to update on the KFC app. This was not even through Instacart, not even through Apple Pay. This was through their app. We tried doing it through hers. We tried doing it through mine. It wouldn't take it for whatever the case may be. Here's another area that apps piss me off. Why can't I just place the order and have a section on there to say, for pickup, I'm coming now? You know why? And I think I know the answer. Because they want to guarantee that they're not just going to make the food to throw it away later. But I'm one of these people, I'm coming through your drive-through.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm coming. This is not let's scam McDonald's and let me put in an order of put an amount on it, put a limit on it. No orders higher than $25, which means at McDonald's I'll be able to afford 1 double cheeseburger meal and a Happy Meal.
Exactly, because I remember when I think it was like T-ball or something, and I was a kid, that at one point we all went to McDonald's, and I think one of the parents paid or the coach paid or something like that. So that's going to cost a lot of money. You can't put a limit of $25.
No, but there's got to be a way, like either... I don't know. There's got to be something where if I'm struggling to get my cards to work, not because I can't afford to buy a bucket of chicken or a couple Happy Meals, there's got to be a choice of what if I wanted to pay cash? What if it's a rare occasion and I'm getting ready to go through whatever drive-through USA and I just happen to have a spare $40 on me? It's rare, but what if I did? Now I can't do it. So your apps, you want us all to use your apps, but you make it a little difficult sometimes. And you make it, and isn't life supposed to be easier? And now you got me frustrated.
I know. And I've heard this time and time again. Oh, and I had the opposite. We ordered food from this local bar here in the area that they have wings, and they're a cash only. And Zach's like, we don't have cash. What are we going to do? And do you like how ours is the opposite? What are we going to do? And I said, that's ironic. I went to pay our taxes the other day and I got $40 out of the bank too much. So I said, I have $40. Our bill was $39.50. But what sucks about that is, so then I didn't leave a tip, even if it was a pickup, but I didn't leave a tip because they only take cash. I'm like, if you would have actually taken a card, I would have tipped way more. I feel like you're losing money if you are a cash only establishment.
I feel you're right. It is the double edge of it. I feel both places, whether it's an app for a restaurant or whatever, both need to have an option to either pay cash if you want, just saying, hey, we're going to do this because.
Well, yeah, this is normal to have both options.
Right. And then if you are a cash only facility, sorry, if you really want the business, you got to get a square. You've got to have that option.
You know what I think that small business owners, especially, what I think that they say a lot of times is because of the percentage fee for running these cards is pretty high now. But you have to weigh your choices and go, wait a second, am I going to lose business? So that money that I am paying to run these credit cards, am I losing that by not having that?
Yeah.
And that is, it's really tough to be a small business owner.
It ain't tough when you're KFC and my card's not working.
Yeah, I don't
for whatever reason because of your app.
I do not understand that whatsoever.
And she's good. So it's not like it was just me.
Yeah.
And you could obviously make fun of me and be like, well, look at you and you can understand why you can't figure it out.
Right. I need to write down all of the steps 1 through 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. On your arm.
Write them down.
Yes. So one of my girlfriends had said the other day, she goes, oh, I love whenever you guys talk about something controversial on your podcast. She said, I love the drama. And I was like, good. I want you to listen to the next one.
And here we go.
You're right. I want you to listen to the next one because I loved this that was sent into us. So my son's sports team, I'm not going to tell you which sport it is. They're doing a car wash fundraiser today. My son wants to go, but I'm not supporting it because it's hosted at, where do you think it's hosted at? One of our weed shops.
Oh, that's so weird.
Yes. And she said, I think it's highly inappropriate. Am I the only unreasonable person that thinks against allowing to have a fundraiser at one of our local weed shops?
I think
I was shocked. I've never seen a car wash at a weed shop, but I'm not surprised because some of them have some really big parking lots, number one.
Yeah.
And number two, they busy. So that makes sense.
A couple things about it.
And they have kids.
Right. I'm going to share with you. Well, at least there's some in the stroller outside while mom and dad are getting their fix.
Yeah.
Can't say we haven't seen that.
Fix.
So
as if it's like meth.
Well, a couple things. So there is, and again, no names to be mentioned here. There is a, shall we say, marijuana. I'm sorry. There is a sticker shop. And if you're listening outside of New York, it is the weirdest thing in the world. But anyway, I'm not going to describe the whole process. So there is a sticker shop that does a lot for the community. Now, they are not right here. They've done a specific holiday where they really do provide a lot for, the underprivileged kids. However, the sticker shop that does that, and I only know this because, well, because
it's Scott's favorite.
I cannot stand weed or the smell of it. But we had met the owner, and the owner explained to us about how around this certain holiday they really try to cater to the kids in need. However, that is done off premises at a park in the city that is involved with. And
I remember now.
They get involved with the law enforcement there. And now let's be real. You and I cut right down to the core of what this is. Because if anybody's going to tell you how it is, I'm going to tell you how it is.
How is it?
The reason they're doing this is they want to keep the fuzz off their ass and not get raided.
Yep.
I get it.
Yep.
And you know what? if you're doing something good for the kids and you're not exposing them at that time when you're doing something good to them to the marijuana, okay, then I'm fine. You've taken it to a park and you're giving out these, let's just call them gifts to kids. Again, I'm being very vague on this. You know what? You've eliminated. Now, maybe the parents know who the main provider is for the kids, right? And they're doing something good. That's fine. But you're not sitting there with tables full of the adult paraphernalia or the adult treat, whatever you want to use.
Yep.
This is done off premises and gets law enforcement involved, and it feels really good for the community in that regard because the kids are not really picking up on the fact, hey kids, thank Mr. Juicy's Bar for, because it's always a name like that. Thank Mr. Juicy's Bar for your whatever. This is done. Okay, so I can handle that. The fact that the car wash is on the premises of the establishment, that's where I have the problem with it. Now, I'm not saying kids are naive and don't know about it. Please understand, I know I'm also not stupid. I know that they may have parents that do it around them or, within, the family, whatever. It's your lifestyle. But I do feel weird about having them on premises of the actual establishment where the stickers are sold, if you will, to do it. Now, had you done it at a church parking lot, but it was sponsored 100% by Mr. Juicy's Bar, again, the name, I kind of am okay with it that way, if that makes any weird sense.
Okay, so now that we have dissected that a little bit, especially talking about the sticker shop, the weed shop that does stuff for the kids, I noticed that there are 2 sticker shops in our area that really do a lot of things for kids.
Okay.
One of them does Easter baskets.
Yep.
Another one, he does a lot with Christmas. So it keeps you in good graces. You were talking about with the fuzz. I think it also keeps you in good graces with the community in general.
Oh, there's no doubt about it.
And not that we are people that we are trying to get ahead, because I genuinely care for our community, that even we do a lot of community things. We do a lot of community things for free as well. And
but I'm not selling something that's on the border, if you will.
No, but I also know
of legal, not legal.
If we're doing real talk, I know that it makes me look good.
Sure.
And I'm not going to lie about that. I also love doing it because I love our community and I stand and support these missions. So the thing that I think is these weed shops, they do too. I think they also love our community and stand and support the missions of whoever they're helping, whether it might be Children's Miracle Network or something like that. It's interesting because a lot of these,
as far as I'm aware of, that has not been one that's been supported by them.
I was just using that as an example.
Yeah.
So I think some of these places say, we don't want that affiliation. That's just not our brand. It's not our vibe. But I will say, just because you smoke weed doesn't mean that you don't love your community and want good things to happen.
Well, I never said that either.
No, what I think is kind of unfortunate is these shops have done it to themselves by the presentation alone. I have been in a weed shop in Palm Springs, in Denver, Colorado, and it's very medical, very clean. I think we all collectively would feel a little bit different if these weed shops look different, but they don't. They look as if they're like selling crack out of the back of a truck.
Yeah, well,
and they're
that's
not.
because in the area that we are currently in New York State, they're still they're riding the surfing wave of the loophole.
But you can at least when you go, say you meet a friend for the first time. Follow me. Say you meet a friend for the first time and they're like, oh, come over my house and we'll hang. And you go to their house and they've got dog shit on their carpet and there's like graffiti all over their walls and their house is just disgusting. You all of a sudden have a different viewpoint of that friend. We all do. I mean, maybe not all of us, but 99% of us do. And that's what I think the difference is like these places, why do you have it look as if you are a kid's treehouse? Doesn't it look like a treehouse where I've like spray painted the inside and I've got like a dirty couch that I know 10 people have had sex on and we're in a college.
10?
Yeah. And
that was on Monday.
Right. And then we're in a college frat house. Honestly, I feel like the fundraiser would go better if these places would actually clean up.
I still don't like it on their location.
But hold on. So besides just cleaning up what they look like, and I think that would change your persona after using my analogy right there. Number two, I think that, like I said, they are community oriented. And some of these guys are the sweetest guys in the world. People can't get past the appearance. And I'm not saying you have to cater to my appearance and everything, but I'm like, could you clean it up a little bit? Like, I dress weird. I like weird things. I have a lot of tattoos. I wouldn't want somebody to judge me either. And the third thing is, if they have this space, it's really one of the smartest locations because okay, wash my car and it's going for the kids and I am going to go inside and I'm going to get the product. Because my last point is some of my favorite people and some of my people that are the best parents are weed smokers or they eat edibles and they're still good parents. And they might not do it every day. They might do it while their kid's sleeping. As far as that goes, that's a whole discussion for a different day, which I'm not a parent. So it's hard because I don't think I could be a weed smoker and a parent. I'd be too afraid. I'm like, I am not a high anxiety person at all. I'm actually the person that's like a duck. All the water slides off my back. But I think if I became a parent, that's when it would change. And I would be like, I can't. Because if my kid like falls out of bed or something and I'm like, oh my God, I'm stoned.
You're right.
I think I would feel differently. I would probably drink a lot less too. So anyway, which is why I'm not a parent. So
well, that's not the primary reason that you want to keep drinking.
So right, exactly. So this fundraiser thing is, I get why that parent is completely against it. I do. But I think it could change for all reasons I just gave.
I will argue a couple points, but not argue. This is just my perception.
Yeah.
I agree with you in a couple areas. The folks that we've met that own or run these stores, many of them very nice people. Well, actually some of them extremely smart.
Oh my God, they're way more educated than I am.
Wow, like wherever they got their education
their education in horticulture is just...
It's amazing.
I'm like, I can't even keep a cactus alive.
So here's what I think. Here's what I think it is. You had said that they care deeply about their community. I think it's a little different. I think there are individuals that care deeply for a cause, whether it be a holiday of a Christmas and Easter or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I think that the individuals may care deeply as far as wanting to make sure the kids in need are taken care of. I don't think they give two spits about the community as long as they can keep their shop open and they don't get raided. That's my opinion.
Okay.
That's so.
What's yours?
What's yours? They care about the cause and maybe not doing it to just look good, but care about the actual. Well, let's make sure kids get Christmas presents, whatever the case may be. I think that they believe it, but I don't think they give a crap about the community other than don't raid me and don't shut me down and let's stay in good graces.
But don't they?
You leave me alone, I'll leave you alone mentality.
Okay, but that's for the authority. Don't they care about the community because a lot of things that people who are in that lifestyle is like, I'm in pain and I need some relief.
Oh, I think there are some folks that do that. Yes.
So
I think there absolutely are ones that use it more medicinal or want to kind of go that route of I'm a more medicinal store than I am it's Friday at 4 p.m. Let's get, stocked up for the weekend kind of mentality.
Don't you think that they care about their community then to that degree? Yes, we're all worried about our bottom dollar.
Sure.
I'm worried about my bottom dollar.
And I'm not labeling. I don't know. I do not know what's in their head. I'm just telling you what my perception, on it is. I also don't think even when they get to the point that they have these places looking like full, well, I jokingly call it the UFO because it's so pristine on the inside and, it looks perfect like a surgical room. I still don't think it should be on that premise. If you want it to be sponsored by whatever it is and you want to do it at the church parking lot, but it's sponsored by, I'm a little bit better with that because at one point, here's the deal. I know kids aren't naive. At least most of them are not.
Yeah.
But I also don't necessarily need it. I mean, it feels a little rammy down the throaty.
Does it feel like having a car wash at a shaky toy store?
Yeah. Yeah.
And one of the things that I think that we say a lot on our show, and I will definitely...
And let's face it, you wouldn't be here, kids, without sex.
Right. But one thing that we say on our show that I will absolutely say on the podcast is sometimes there's things that we talk about on this podcast specifically that we're like, we don't want to teach your kid that. That's for you to teach your kid that.
Sure.
And have those discussions. I don't know how you do. Because I know my parents never discussed jack crap with me, and I'm so glad.
Well, and your lifestyle is your lifestyle. We're not criticizing that. As long as you're not putting someone in harm, that's the only time you're going to get criticism.
You're just saying that this is a life lesson and lifestyle that isn't to be taught during a car wash, is what you're saying.
I'm kind of with that mom on that. Listen, I hate to do this, but I got to go.
Yes. Scott's got a tight schedule today. What a great discussion, though.
In 20 minutes, we laid it out. And now you can have all the opinions you want. Now, remember, I never said anything bad about the folks that partake, want to partake. That's not my place to do. You do you. You do your lifestyle. Just follow some kind of rule and be pleasant to the other people. In other words, don't blow it at the street corner when I'm walking by.
Oh, and also the driving thing. That's my big rule is the driving thing.
Yeah.
And I said this, and I will say it one last time. I said it because I was at Burlington a few weeks ago, and these people reeked of it, but they had babies. And I'm like, I don't care that you do that, but you had to drive here to get to this store. And you obviously are not in a good state of mind to be driving with a baby.
No.
So that's my one thing. All right. We do have to go. That was a great discussion. Short and sweet and to the point. We will see you next week.
Well, that was fun. Wasn't that fun? That was fun. Do us a favor, will you? Subscribe. Share the Scott and Allie Not for Air podcast. Touch our buttons. We know you want to.